dishes were served. Back then, you weren't even worthy of eating them. Now that you'd tried them, you realized they were nothing special. After the meal, you returned to the convenience store. At that moment, there were 150 seconds left until the next traversal. When the time ran out, the city's noise quickly faded away, replaced by the dead silence of the apocalypse. The 12-hour traversal cooldown had also dropped to 11 hours. You guessed that as the number of traversals increased, you'd eventually be able to travel freely between the apocalypse and the real world. You could feel many eyes on you from all around. The survivors from last time had already spread news of the mysterious convenience store all over. The people coming now were no longer starving stragglers, but scouts from organized groups. After about 10 minutes, a figure walked toward the convenience store. The man stopped at your door with a rifle slung over his back. "My name is Scorpion. I'm here on behalf of Rock's Stronghold. I'd like to talk about a deal with you. Our stronghold needs a large amount of supplies. Food, water, medicine, weapons, ammo, we want it all. I don't sell weapons." There was no disappointment on Scorpion's face, as if he'd already expected that answer. He pulled out a gold bar from his pocket and set it on the table. "This is the deposit. We want to build a long-term partnership with you. We hope you can give us a better price. My prices are the same for everyone." Just then, several faint ripples appeared in the shadows behind him. Scorpion raised a hand in a calming gesture. "We're sincere about this." You said nothing. Instead, you reached out toward the canned meat on the shelf without touching it. It slowly floated over to the counter. Scorpion's pupils suddenly shrank. Before seeing your telekinesis, Scorpion had thought your only advantage was that impenetrable defense. He didn't expect you to be a powerful awakened one yourself. 1 case of canned food. 1 gold bar. We need an exact number. We need to know exactly how much stock you have. That was also one of the reasons for this visit. You let out a soft chuckle and snapped your fingers. A small mountain of bottled water appeared out of thin air on the ground. The sight made Scorpion's brain freeze for a full 2.5 seconds. Is this enough? If not, you snapped your fingers again. Another small mountain appeared, this time made of compressed biscuits. Scorpion swallowed hard. The man in front of him not only had telekinetic powers, he also had spatial powers. "How do you set the price?" "I told you already, 1 gold bar. For 1 case of canned food, we'll take it all. But we'll need time to prepare. Gold can be traded for goods. As for the scattered items on the shelves, if you want to buy in bulk, you'll have to pay a different price. Qinghe can't be used for trade. It is the source of an awakened one's power. It is the foundation of the stronghold's existence. That is your problem, not mine." The moment you finished speaking, the 2 small mountains vanished out of thin air. From start to finish, the leverage in this deal has been in your hands. If Scorpion refuses to trade, then, once the other outposts agree to it, Panshi will eventually be unable to hold out and will completely fall apart. We need a specific exchange rate. 100 gold bars plus 10 crystal cores for water. As for the biscuits, the price is doubled. Scorpion's fists clenched tightly at his sides. This isn't just an outrageous price anymore. This is outright robbery. Scorpion took a deep breath, forcing himself to calm down. "I need to go back and report this gold bar to the leader. Consider it your fee for asking directions." You nodded and pocketed the gold bar. Scorpion said nothing. He slowly stepped back into the darkness. You went back to the counter and calmly wiped down the already spotless countertop. Another 10 minutes passed. 3 figures emerged. One was a middle-aged man wearing glasses. 2 soldiers followed behind him. "Hello, boss. My surname is G. Everyone calls me Professor G. I'm from the lighthouse shelter." You said nothing. You just quietly watched him. From an economic perspective, your current model can't be sustained for long. Once an outpost loses a large number of crystal cores, it is bound to collapse. When that happens, who will buy your goods? That just makes the remaining crystal cores even more valuable now. The smile on Professor G's face completely froze. You don't care at all about any system or any future, because you alone hold the power to set the prices. Just then, Nightingale stepped out of the darkness. A crystal core dropped onto your counter. You didn't say a word. You took out a self-heating rice meal, a can of beef, and 2 bottles of mineral water. Nightingale took the items and turned to leave. The whole exchange happened in silence. His so-called rational analysis had turned into a complete joke. 100 gold bars plus 10 crystal cores. Water is available for that exchange, but it'll cost extra. The nonsense you just spewed wasted 3 minutes of my time. So now it'll cost you 15 crystal cores. We'll trade. The man in front of you might not be the strongest awakened in the wasteland, But his convenience store was unbeatable. Professor G pulled a military communicator from inside his coat. Bring 100 gold bars and 15 crystal cores. About 20 minutes later, the roar of engines came from the distance. 2 metal cases were placed in front of you. One was packed full of gold bars, and the other held 15 crystal cores. You also tossed case after case of water beyond the boundary. After the trade was complete, several figures slowly emerged from the darkness. Scorpion was back. There was also a team of 20 behind him. Almost instinctively, both sides raised their guns at each other. We brought what you asked for. Several cases were opened. Inside were not only gold bars, but also 20 crystal cores. 10 more than you asked for. Scorpion made his attitude clear in the most direct way possible. Professor G's face looked worse than a dead man's. It is the apocalypse already, and you're still trying to one-up your dad. With a casual wave of your hand, you took out a huge pile of compressed biscuits and several cases of canned beef from your dimensional storage. These are for you. Scorpion's breathing caught for a moment. He had bet right. He immediately gave you a deep bow. Then he looked at Professor G. Panshi came here to trade. We don't want any unnecessary trouble. But if Lighthouse wants to start something here, we'll go all the way with you. As soon as he finished speaking, the guns behind Scorpion were cocked all at once. Someone from Lighthouse forced out a few words through clenched teeth. We're leaving. You quietly watched it all. Interesting. One was Lighthouse, built on technology and knowledge, and the other was Panshi, where strength and discipline ruled. After he left, Scorpion bowed to you once more and quickly withdrew as well. From these 2 deals, you gained another 100 kilograms of gold. The silence didn't last long. This time, 3 convoys drove in from different directions. The snarls of zombies came from all around. The 3 factions almost all gave the order to prepare for battle at the same time. On one side was the burst fire of heavy machine guns and assault rifles. On the other were fireballs and ice spikes unleashed by the awakened. After the last zombie was taken down with a shot to the head, the square once again fell into a brief calm. Boss, we from Battle Axe have something to say. We from Ark have come in good faith as well. Start lining up over there. Battle Axe is one of the real powers in this eastern district. Since when did we ever have to stand in line? Boss, what do you mean by this? We came in good faith to clear out the zombies outside. I said, line up. If Battle Axe's people don't follow the rules, then I won't sell you anything. Battle Axe still carries some weight in this eastern district. Being friends with us won't hurt you. I don't care whether I have one more friend or one less. Either follow the rules, or leave and get in line. What would that do to Battle Axe's reputation? The bald man let out a low growl, as if he had made up his mind, and sharply waved at the men behind him. Bring it over. I'm buying first today, no matter what. 2 Battle Axe members carried a heavy metal case forward. Someone broke the rules. This deal is over. With that, you waved your hand and put all the supplies into the dimensional warehouse. In an instant, the whole convenience store was completely empty. Both factions looked at the bald man. The burly man's face was already full of rage. I came with gold and crystal cores. That was me showing you respect. Don't mistake my respect for weakness. When Battle Axe speaks in the Eastern District, no one dares say no. Who the hell do you think you are? I hate barking dogs. Open fire, blow his damn shop to pieces. A hail of bullets instantly poured toward the convenience store, but every one of them was blocked by an invisible shield. Not only will I never sell Battle Axe another bit of supplies, I'll also offer 100 cases of canned beef for your life. All the Battle Axe members froze in place. Then you raised your hand and waved it. 100 cases of canned beef appeared on the ground. At once, everyone's attention shifted to the burly bald man. So you're all planning to rebel, huh? I'm the 3rd boss of the war captives. Ark is taking this bounty. Hive's taking it too. What about you? You want to betray me too? The war captives members looked at each other. No one dared meet his eyes. In the apocalypse, loyalty is the cheapest thing there is. Suddenly, a blade stabbed into the bald brute's chest. The one who attacked was his deputy. Why his deputy's face was completely expressionless. 3rd boss, the brothers have to eat too. Then he turned to the people in the convenience store. If we quit, this deal belongs to us, the war captives. I already said, I won't sell the war captives another bit of supplies. They killed their own 3rd boss with their own hands. But in the end, they got nothing. If these people are no longer war captives members, I'm just not doing business with the war captives. As for everyone else, they don't fall under that. My name is Bai Lu, the supply director of Ark Shelter. I now formally invite you, on behalf of Ark, to join Hive. And any capable friends are welcome too. The deputy's mind raced. We're willing to join Ark. The dozen or so people behind him all lowered their weapons in unison, showing their surrender. Leaning against the counter, you casually raised a hand. That small mountain of 100 cases of canned beef came to a steady stop in front of the deputy. Meanwhile, the deputy was quick to get the hint. He walked up to Bai Lu and said, "Director Bai Lu, thank you for Ark's protection. We're willing to offer you these cans as a meeting gift." The people from Hive watched with envy, but they didn't dare think anything else. This time, no one dared voice any objections. Bai Lu stood behind the counter. The gaunt man from Hive also silently lined up behind Bai Lu. "What do you want?" "Compressed biscuits, water, and instant noodles." As soon as he finished speaking, 2 boxes were opened. Inside were 50 gold bars and 20 crystal cores. After the deal was done, he didn't hurry off. "Boss, do you take advance orders here?" "Yes. What antibiotics do you want?" "The more cold medicine, the better. Go back and make a list. Then, bring the deposit. Next time, I'll bring the goods to you." Next up was Shui Shou from Beehive. Like Bai Lu, the man had ordered medicine, as well as cigarettes and alcohol. After the deal was done, some people with odds and ends started trading. Some had gold jewelry, and some had low-grade crystal cores. But then, someone brought out something new to trade. It was a car battery. The battery energy density and cycle life in this world were actually nearly twice as advanced as those in your world. You suddenly realized that all this time, you'd been treating this world like an ATM for crystal cores and gold, while overlooking the fact that before the disaster hit, this world already had its own tech tree. You turned and took out 2 loaves of bread and a bottle of water, along with 2 ham sausages. The survivors around you were all stunned. "That is a lot. From now on, I'll take this kind of battery too." At the back of the crowd, several loners were quietly forming a circle around him. He held the heavy food in his arms, his body shaking violently. This food wasn't hope. It was a death sentence. "I have something to ask him. Whoever dares make a move. I don't mind trading a few more crates of canned food for his head." At that moment, the few loners suddenly froze. After all, Axe's third boss was still sleeping not far away. "What is your name?" "Zhou Yuan." "Where did this battery come from?" "Skyvault Technology Park. I used to be a battery engineer at Skyvault Technology. This Thor 7 was our company's flagship product. When the disaster broke out, we had just finished a batch for an order. There are at least tens of thousands of finished batteries left in the company warehouse. But the thousands of employees in the park all turned into zombies." You nodded. "If you use the gold you have on hand to recreate a production line, then with the Thor 7's performance specs, it could definitely spark an energy revolution in the original world. Assuming the production line is already gone, can you get the complete manufacturing data for this kind of battery, including all the raw materials, formulas, and processing methods? The servers in the park have the complete files. As long as we have the servers, I can get the data out." The way you looked at him completely changed. How is he just a LOP engineer? He is clearly a walking key to a treasure vault. We'll need the help of the local big shots for this. With that in mind, you looked at Zhou Yuan. "From now on, you work for me. Your job is to identify and evaluate all the tech products I get. In return, I'll provide you with food and water." An uncontrollable surge of joy rose in Zhou Yuan's heart. What does it mean to rise to the top overnight? This is what it means to rise to the top overnight. But some survivors were quick to catch on too. If Zhou Yuan could turn his life around with a single battery, why couldn't they? For a while, a gold rush swept through the survivors. A damaged motherboard from a military drone. A sealed refrigerated case for biological samples. Even half of a burned academic journal. You refused none of it, and had Zhou Yuan appraise everything. The gold rush went on for quite a while. Just then, 2 glaring headlights tore through the darkness. Then came the steady, powerful roar of an engine. Bai Lu and the thin man surnamed Shui got out almost at the same time. Several crates filled with gold and crystal cores sat on the ground. "This is the deposit from our archive. Deposit received. I'll have your goods ready for the next deal." Bai Lu and the thin man surnamed Shui bowed at the same time. They were extremely humble. Even though the deal was done, neither of them had any intention of leaving. Their eyes were fixed on Zhou Yuan and the pile of junk on the ground. Your gaze stayed calm and unreadable. There is a Skydome Technology Park in the northern ruins. There are tens of thousands of finished Thor 7 batteries there, but more than 5,000 zombies are holed up there. That number is enough to swallow up anything. "Boss, you mean? I'm giving you a chance to make a fortune. I'll put up the money and you'll provide the manpower. Help me clear out the tech park. Bring back the server mainframes inside completely intact." Bai Lu and Huang Feng's minds were both racing. The risk was off the charts, but the payoff would be just as huge. More importantly, this is a chance to build close ties with this mysterious shop owner. Hive is in. Our Hive, Ripper Squad, has the strongest solo assault capability in all the ruins. We can guarantee the mission gets done. Huangfeng, don't get ahead of yourself. ARC has the best technical team in the ruins. Hacking, dismantling, transport. Only we can make sure it is foolproof. We'll take the Sky Dome Tech Park mission. Rock is in. We have the most awakened. We guarantee we'll bring the server back intact. What a joke. 5,000 zombies. Once Rock's awakened burn through their stamina, how many can they really kill? Going there would be suicide. Scorpion, this isn't something brute force can solve. Without our technical staff, you won't even make it through the tech park's front gate. Tiankong Tech's chief power engineer, Wang Chongming, is with our lighthouse. No one knows that place better than he does. As soon as he said that, Bai Lu, Huangfeng, and Scorpion's expressions changed drastically. So Lighthouse was holding a trump card like this. Enough. I don't care if it is Ark, Rock, or anyone else. I only care about results. If anything happens to the server, or if I don't get what I want, then none of you should expect to trade for anything from me again. Not even a single grain of rice. As soon as he said that, the representatives of all four sides went pale. Your words were so blunt, so unforgiving. Rock agreed to cooperate. Once the first faction agreed, the other three quickly followed. The four strongest factions in the ruins formed an unprecedented alliance. A formidable force made up of nearly 100 awakened and several hundred elite soldiers was born. He is going with you. Bring him back without a single hair out of place. Don't worry, boss. We guarantee Mr. Zhou Yuan's safety. There is one more potential risk in this operation, the prisoners of war. Their third in command died here. Lei Bao is the kind of man who always gets revenge. He'll never let this go. The prisoners may not be as strong as they are, but if they're set on causing trouble, while they're locked in battle with thousands of zombies, even the slightest disruption could lead to irreversible consequences. Everyone's attention turned to you again. One prisoner, 10 cases of canned beef for an ordinary member. One minor leader is worth 100 cases. As for Lei Bao, their boss, I'll trade 1,000 cases of canned food for him, whether it is you or any drifter in the ruins. Whoever brings his head to me gets the canned food. The four factions all gasped. The risk Bai Lu had mentioned wasn't a risk at all to this man. The square fell deathly silent. The representatives of the four factions no longer dared entertain even the slightest ulterior motive. Today, it could be the prisoners. Tomorrow, it could be any one of them. Once the bounty was issued, there was no room left for negotiation. Bai Lu, Huangfeng, Scorpion, and Professor J. These four people, who could shake the ruins with just a stomp of the foot, didn't waste another word. They assigned the tasks as quickly as possible. Then each quickly left in their vehicles with their men. Before leaving, Bai Lu specifically walked over to Zhou Yuan. Mr. Zhou Yuan, please come with us. We'll need you to give us more details about the tech park on the way. Zhou Yuan instinctively glanced at the convenience store. Only after getting your nod did he get into the vehicle with ARC's people. After you closed the door, you didn't hurry back to the other world. With a thought, you took out all the money from the trade earlier that day. Without the slightest hesitation, you grabbed a handful and stuffed it into your mouth. The familiar pain hit again. After waiting for the last trace of energy to be fully absorbed, you suddenly opened your eyes. Awakened 1 Xiaoguo. Awakened Ability 1. Dimensional Storage. Current Capacity 3,000 cubic meters. Awakened Ability 2. Telekinesis can remotely control objects weighing up to 200 kilograms. It can also reshape and accelerate objects. It was no longer just simple remote retrieval. Your eyes landed on the metal shelf in the corner. This time, you didn't make a grabbing motion, or even raise your hand. With just one glance, the metal shelf was instantly compressed into an ultra-dense metal ball. There were 12 minutes left before dimensional travel. It was time to go back. The appearance of the Thor No. 7 battery was like a seed that planted a forest called ambition in your heart. You are no longer content to be a simple interdimensional middleman. In this safe, modern world, you were going to build a business empire of your own. Those hundreds of tons of gold had to be turned into working capital as soon as possible. But there was no way to move that much gold through normal channels. A name surfaced in your mind. Brother Biao, that loan sharking thug, had to have ties to the city's gray market. Having him make the connections was the most efficient and safest option for now. Once the money was in place, it would be time to stock up like crazy and completely fill the 3,000 cubic meter warehouse and the convenience store. Then, you would register a tech company and set up the basic framework first to get ready for the technical data from Skydome Tech Park. Your thoughts were incredibly clear. Every step pointed toward that massive goal. At that moment, dimensional travel was ready. With a thought, the familiar feeling of weightlessness wrapped around your whole body again. Dimensional travel complete. Current world Earth. Cool down until the next travel, 11 hours. Outside the window were the city's neon lights and busy traffic. Compared to the silent ruins from just seconds ago, it felt like two completely different universes. That extreme contrast made you even more certain that you had to hold on tight to this power. Back on Blue Star, you didn't leave the convenience store right away. Instead, you lay down on the bed. The surge in mental power had greatly reduced your need for sleep, but a few hours of rest would bring your body back to peak condition. When you opened your eyes again, it was 11 a.m. After a quick lunch, you called Brother Biao. "Hello, who is this?" "Xiao Guo, Brother Guo. What can I do for you? I have a batch of goods I want to sell." "Brother Guo, excuse me for asking, but is this stuff legit?" "There is some risk, but not much. At that same cement factory from last time." "Come alone." Got it. I'll be there on time." Soon, it was 3 in the afternoon. Still at that same cement factory. But this time, you were the one sitting on the sofa. Brother Biao arrived as promised. In front of you, he didn't even dare breathe too loudly. "Brother Guo, these are the goods you want moved." You pulled a gold bar out of the sack. Brother Biao's pupils narrowed slightly. A 500-gram gold bar was valuable, but any bigger gold shop could handle it. Just as he was thinking that, you pulled the sack open, and it was packed full of gold bars. Brother Biao froze in place. His mind went completely blank. It wasn't just one bar, it was a whole pile. 20 bars in total. Each one weighed 500 grams. Brother Biao started trembling uncontrollably. 20 bars, 500 grams each. That was 10 kilograms. Did they rob a gold vault? Or just hit an armored truck outright? Then he thought about what you'd said on the phone about there not being much risk. This is what you call not much risk. The second anyone touches this stuff, it is basically a one-way trip to the execution ground. A case this huge, he wouldn't even dare dream about it. "Guo, Brother Guo, you're going to get me killed. Can you handle it or not?" Brother Biao fell silent. He really wanted to say he didn't dare take it, that he wasn't worthy of taking it. He didn't dare look you in the eye. He had already decided you were a truly vicious man. You can't even handle this little bit of gold. You can't even handle this little bit of gold, and you're supposed to be a loan shark. You can't even handle something this small? Master Guo, for a case this big, I really don't dare touch it. Relax, this gold is clean. It is not tied to any case. I just can't be bothered to move them one by one myself. You know what I mean? Master Guo, can I make a call and ask around with the guys on the street? You waved your hand. Brother Biao felt like he'd been granted a pardon. He didn't even dare step aside to make the call. He even turned on speakerphone. "Hello, Biaosi, what is up? Has anything happened around here lately? Involving gold?" The person on the other end sounded a little confused, but still answered honestly. "What case could there be? There are cameras all over the streets now. Who dare mess with that? You struck it rich, kid, thinking about buying gold." After getting the answer, Brother Biao seemed completely reassured. He hung up, and the way he looked at you completely changed. "Master Guo, there is no way I can handle all this merchandise by myself, but I know someone who can." You waved your hand again. Brother Biao shockily dialed another number. "What is it?" "Sister Sue, it is me, Biaosi. I've got a big shot here, with a batch of gold on hand. He wants to sell it, and it is a lot, about 10 kilograms. After hearing that, the silence on the other end dragged on even longer. Half an hour later, the usual place, I'll inspect the goods myself. You arrived at a private club. Sister Sue was a woman wearing a chapao. She gestured for you to sit. You didn't stand on ceremony either. You casually sat down in the seat. Then, you tossed the sack onto the table. The woman called Sister Shu didn't stop pouring tea. Only after sliding the tea in front of you did she slowly speak. "My friend, how should I address you?" "Mr. Guo, may I see the goods?" You nodded. After opening the bag, 10 gold bars lay there quietly. Sister Sue handled them with expert skill. After examining them for a long while, she murmured, 999 pure gold full weight too. Standard large gold bars. Only then did she look up at Mr. Guo. "Such a large shipment, where did it come from?" You picked up your teacup and took a light sip. "Mr. Guo, it is not that I don't trust you. It is just that this business has its rules. 10 kilos is no small amount. I have to get a clear answer. As she spoke, she watched your expression. But you said nothing. You just glanced at Biao-Ji. Biao-Ji immediately got the message and hurried out. Then you took a gold bar out of the bag. With Sister Sue watching, you applied a little pressure. The gold bar was like putty in your hands. Someone with that kind of strength would have no reason to deal in a batch of dirty gold. She took a deep breath and named her price. 710 per gram for 10 kilos, that is 7 million. You didn't agree, but you didn't refuse either. What is the most you can move? A flicker of hesitation crossed Sister Sue's face. You were testing the limit of her entire network. Mr. Guo, if the goods are all this clean, I can move 50 kilos for you every month. So 35 million a month, too little. You slowly held up one finger. 100 kilos is a tenth of a ton. Sister Sue could no longer keep her composure. Mr. Guo, are you joking? 1 ton of gold at current market prices would mean nearly $1 billion in cash flow. Her operation simply couldn't handle something that big. Impossible. No private channel can move a ton of gold within a month. This isn't even just about money anymore. It is a direct challenge to the entire modern financial regulatory system, and cash flow in the hundreds of millions would definitely draw the attention of the authorities. That would be a huge problem. Of course, you'd already thought of that. So, what if I don't need all of it converted into cash? You mean an asset swap? I need an industrial park or a battery manufacturer. That unexpected answer left Sister Sue completely stunned. She hadn't expected you were moving gold, not for a life of luxury, but to build a real business. Someone who could crush a gold bar with his bare hands, someone who could produce a ton of gold every month, actually wanted to be an entrepreneur. This was no longer just a deal. It was a capital operation on a scale he couldn't even imagine. Mr. Lin, this is already completely beyond my authority. I need to report this to my superiors. You just waved your hand. I'm the boss. Suwan said, there is a huge deal, and the gold is clean with a large quantity. At that point, she glanced at you. For now, I only have 300 kilograms on hand. The other party can supply 1 ton a month. He currently has 300 kilograms in stock. After the call ended, Suwan went from leading the deal to being nothing more than a messenger. Mr. Guo, my boss wants to meet you in person. Tomorrow night at 7, same place. You nodded and pointed at the gold. Let's sell this batch first. As a show of good faith, we can offer 810 yuan per gram for this batch. In less than 5 minutes, 8 million was deposited into your account. After the deal was done, Suwan personally saw you off and stayed until you drove away in that van. After you left, Brother Biao came over with a flattering smile. Sister Sue, how did it go? As for Master Guo, from now on, anything involving Mr. Guo, don't ask a single question. Whatever he tells you to do, just do it. If anything goes wrong, no one will be able to protect you. Brother Biao felt a jolt in his heart. He nodded over and over like a pecking chick. After leaving, you didn't go back to the convenience store. Instead, you went to the wholesale center. When the salesperson from last time saw you, he immediately came out to greet you. Boss Lin, you're back. What do you need this time? Use this list. Multiply the quantity of every category by 10. The manager glanced at it. His hands trembled slightly. I'll make sure everything's fully taken care of. After paying the 2 million yuan for the goods, you made trip after trip to the industrial park, until more than half the dimensional warehouse was filled. You still had something even more important to do. A box of ordinary antibiotics, in that ruined world, was worth far more than gold. You drove to the city's wholesale medicine district. You didn't choose one of the big, polished storefronts. Instead, you walked into a small shop in an alley. After the middle-aged man in the shop glanced at you, no prescription or hospital purchasing license, no sale. But you simply pulled out your phone and showed him your balance. The long string of zeros reflected in the man's eyes. Amoxicillin, tourniquets, gauze, iodine solution, saline. However much you have, I'll take it all. The man's breathing stopped for a moment. Why are you buying so much? You just need to tell me whether you'll sell or not. In the end, he lowered his voice and took a deep breath. The storeroom's in the back. Follow me. Half an hour later, your car was packed full of boxes of medicine. Another $1 million+ payment went out.